I froze. That sound. It tore through the Tennessee night like a knife through flesh, an ungodly screech echoing from the hell below us. I was just a kid, dragging a deer with my papa when it hit. His eyes widened. He didn't know what it was. And in 15 seconds, you'll hear why it still haunts me. The story is real. I lived it, and I posted it myself. Check the screen behind me. That's my own words. It's been years since it happened, back when I was 8 or 9, hunting with my papa in the Tennessee mountains. Here, at Friday 13, every tale is true. This one's no exception. Let me take you back to that night, step by step, into the wild where something waited. I was 8 or 9 when it all started. My papa, he was 57 then, was the real deal, an outdoorsman to his core. Grew up hunting, fishing, living off the land his whole life. When I was old enough, he took me out with him, and I was hooked. It clicked instantly. Me by his side, soaking up everything he knew. How to spot deer tracks in the dirt. How to mimic a turkey call just right. How to read the trees like they were whispering secrets. Papa knew those Tennessee mountains inside out. One day, we loaded up the truck for a hunt. The drive was brutal. Endless curves and twists snaking through the mountains. Even now, thinking about that road turns my stomach. We finally hit gravel, the tires crunching loud in the silence. No houses, no lights, just trees stretching out forever, swallowing us whole. We hiked about 10 minutes, boots sinking into the earth, and set up above an old logging road. We sat there for hours, complete boredom. My legs ached, my eyes burned from staring at nothing. Then, there she was, a doe, stepping out onto the road like she didn't have a care in the world. I was shaking so bad I could barely breathe. Papa raised the rifle, steady as stone, and squeezed the trigger. The shot cracked through the quiet, and she dropped. I couldn't stop grinning, our first deer together. We snapped photos, me kneeling beside her, Papa's hand on my shoulder. Then we got to work, field dressing her right there. The air smelled sharp, like blood and pine. We started dragging her back to the truck, her weight tugging at my arms. I felt invincible. That's when the coyotes started. Yelps, sharp, close, cutting through the dusk behind us. Too close. My heart kicked up a notch. Papa's voice snapped. Move quicker, boy. I gripped the deer tighter, my boots slipping on the gravel. The yelps circled us, hungry, relentless. I kept my eyes on Papa, trusting he'd know what to do. He always did. Then, it hit. A screech, a yell, something so raw, so wrong. It ripped out of the hell below us. My chest locked up. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The sound wasn't animal. It wasn't human. It was ungodly, like pain and rage twisted into one. I whipped around to Papa, my voice trembling. Papa, what was that? His eyes were wide, wider than I'd ever seen. Papa, the man who could name every call from a hawk to a fox, shook his head slow. Boy, he said, low and rough. I've never heard that in my life. It's time to go. That hit me harder than the screech. He didn't know. My rock, my guide, was scared. Hey, now, we hold that deer faster. Branches snapping under us. My lungs burned, my hands slick with sweat. The coyotes kept yelping, but that screech, it lingered in my skull, bouncing around like it owned me. I kept looking back, expecting something. A shape, eyes, anything. The trees blurred into shadows, and every rustle made my skin crawl. Ever heard something you can't explain? Drop it in the comments. I'll read them all. Because that's when it got worse for me. We were maybe 200 yards from the truck when I felt it. A tug, like the deer jerked back on its own. I stumbled, gravel biting my knees. That's when I saw it. A flicker. Tall, hunched, moving through the trees, keeping pace with us. "Papa," I hissed, my voice cracking. He didn't look, just grabbed my arm and pulled. Then the knocking came, soft at first, like twigs tapping the ground. Soft at first, like twigs tapping the ground. Then harder, thud, thud, footsteps. Something heavier. My mind screamed at me to run, but my legs wouldn't listen. Papa's grip tightened, his breath ragged. The truck was so close, just a shadow ahead. We dropped the deer and bolted. We slammed into the truck, doors banging shut, doors banging shut. Papa fumbled the keys, hands shaking. I stared out the window, chest heaving, waiting for what? That thing to lunge, the screech again, but nothing came. The forest went dead. No coyotes, no knocks, just silence. Tick, suffocating silence. We sat there, panting, the dark pressing in. The drive home was quiet. Too quiet. Papa didn't say a word, just stared at the road. I tried to laugh it off, tell myself it was just some weird animal, but my pulse wouldn't slow. That night, I lay awake, the screech replaying in my head. What was it? Why didn't he know? Weeks later, it wasn't over. I woke up one night, pitch black, dead still, and heard it, faint through my window. That same screech, my stomach dropped. I ran to Papa's room, but he wasn't there. Out hunting, Mom said. When he came back the next day, he looked off, pale, muttering about something watching him. After that, we stayed out of those deep woods, but it stuck with me. Years later, I moved away, tried to leave it behind. Then, last summer, I drove past that logging road. The trees looked thicker, darker, and I swear, I heard a whisper. My name. I floored it, hands trembling on the wheel. I dug through Papa's old stuff after he passed, found a journal, pages yellowed and torn. Tucked in the back, a sketch, rough, shaky lines of a figure. Tall, hunched, eyes like holes. Under it, he'd written, "Saw it again. 1995, same hill."